Christina Grimmie. She was known for her voice, her warmth, and most of all, her kindness. To millions of fans online, Christina Grimmie wasn't just a singer. She was a friend, someone who looked straight into a camera, sitting in her bedroom, and made you feel like she was talking only to you. Her YouTube channel was simple, no fancy effects, no perfect studio, just a teenage girl, a piano, and a voice powerful enough to stop you in your tracks. But it wasn't just her music that drew people in. It was her openness, her laughter, her love of video games, her obsession with The Legend of Zelda. She wasn't polished, she wasn't distant, she was real. That honesty made people trust her. And more than that, it made them love her. Christina welcomed everyone in, and after concerts, she always stayed late. She signed autographs, posed for photos, and gave out hugs freely. For her, there was no wall between star and fan. Her rise didn't go unnoticed. Among the millions of viewers who stumbled across her channel was Brian Tiffy, the stepfather of Selena Gomez. He saw something in Christina, not just a voice, but a spark, a rare authenticity. He became her manager, and before long, Christina found herself on tour with Selena Gomez and The Scene, opening for them during their We Own the Night tour in 2011. For Christina, it was surreal. Just a girl who had once been recording covers in her bedroom was suddenly on stage in front of thousands. Selena embraced her warmly, treating her like a little sister. Their bond grew quickly. Selena often spoke about Christina's talent, but also her humility, the way fame never seemed to touch her spirit. That chapter wasn't just a career move. It was proof. Proof that Christina belonged on those stages. Proof that she was more than an internet sensation. And yet, despite the bright lights and the big names, Christina never turned her back on where she came from. She kept uploading covers. She kept gaming. She kept interacting with fans, as if she were still the girl behind the webcam. It was that closeness, that connection, that made her so loved. But it was also the thing that placed her in danger, in Street. Petersburg, Florida, 7-year-old Kevin Loibl lived a life of shadows. He was quiet, withdrawn, and deeply isolated. To outsiders, there was nothing remarkable about him. But inside his small, lonely world, he built an obsession. He discovered Christina online. At first, just another fan. But slowly, that admiration twisted into something darker. He watched her videos endlessly, convinced that she was singing only for him. He convinced himself that they were connected, that fate had bound them together. And then, his obsession grew. Loibl began changing himself. He lost weight. He underwent LASIK eye surgery. He had dental work, even hair transplants. He wanted to remake himself into the kind of man he thought Christina would fall in love with. To him, this wasn't fantasy, this was preparation. He told people around him that one day he would marry her. But when friends challenged him, when they pointed out that Christina had no idea who he was, Loibl grew cold, distant, even angry. He cut off those who doubted his vision. Slowly, he withdrew even further from reality, until all that remained was his fixation. It was a fantasy he could never let go of. Kevin found OT that she got a boyfriend. Her producer and Kevin went crazy. And one day, it became a plan. June 10th, 2016. Orlando, Florida. Christina Grimmie was on tour. The venue was small, intimate, exactly the kind of show she loved. That night, she performed with her usual energy, pouring her heart into every note. The crowd cheered, sang along, and for that brief time, it was nothing but joy. When the concert ended, Christina did what she always did. She made her way to the merch table near the exit, ready to greet fans. There were no metal detectors, no bag checks, just Christina, a table, and a line of people eager to meet her. It was the part of the night she loved most. One by one, fans stepped forward. Some were shy, some were crying. But Christina welcomed them all the same, with a smile, with a hug, with warmth that felt endless. And in that line, just a few places back, was Kevin Loibl. Hidden beneath his jacket were 2 loaded handguns, extra magazines, and a large hunting knife. He had traveled more than 100 miles that day, alone, with one purpose. The line moved forward. Christina laughed with fans, posed for selfies, signed shirts and posters, and then Loibl stepped up. For a single heartbeat, he stood in front of her. Christina did what she always did. She opened her arms, ready to hug him. And in that moment, he pulled out a gun. The shots rang out before anyone could react. 1, 2. Christina fell to the floor. Panic exploded in the room. Fans screamed. People ducked for cover. In the chaos, Christina's brother Marcus lunged at Loibl, tackling him to the ground. They fought, Marcus desperate to stop the attack. But in the struggle, Loibl raised the gun once more this time, turning it on himself. And then, silence. In less than 60 seconds, it was over. Christina lay motionless. The man who had obsessed over her for years was dead. Paramedics rushed in, fighting to save her. She was taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center, but her injuries were too severe. A few hours later, Christina Grimmie was pronounced dead. She was just 22 years old. The news spread like wildfire. Fans woke to headlines that didn't seem real. Social media flooded with disbelief, grief, and anger. How could someone so full of life, someone who gave so much, be taken so suddenly? As details came out, the world learned about Kevin Loibl, a man with no criminal record, no history of violence, just a silent obsession that no one had truly seen until it was too late. His friends said he had become fixated, convinced he would marry her. But when reality didn't match his fantasy, he chose destruction. In the days that followed, tributes poured in. Fellow musicians, fans, and celebrities spoke about Christina's kindness, her generosity, her extraordinary talent. Adam Levine, her coach on The Voice, offered to pay for her funeral. Selena Gomez broke down in tears on stage, dedicating songs to the girl she had once toured with, the friend she had treated like family. But the questions lingered. Could this have been prevented? Should there have been more security, more distance between Christina and those who came to see her? Or was this simply the cost of her openness, her desire to be close to the people she loved most? The truth is, Christina's death was not just a tragedy. It was a reflection of something deeper, the danger that can live in obsession. She gave herself freely to the world, but for one man, that gift was twisted into something violent. Christina Grimmie's story is one of contrasts, light and shadow. A young woman who embodied joy, creativity, and hope. And a man who surrendered to darkness, letting his fantasy consume him until it destroyed them both. Her videos remain. The moments she shared with fans remain. And in those moments, she is still alive. To the people who loved her, Christina Grimmie will always be remembered, not for the way her life was stolen, but for the way she lit up the world while she was here.